if you were able to do without me in all the years you were gone in the wilderness, then you're good. There's no need to come back. There's endless realities in this world, and you can manifest another Belle or even better, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Sapiosexual Platter.
Human relationships are unpredictable. One moment you're at war with each other, and the next you are finding your way back to one another. Imagine your worst enemy becomes your best friend, someone whose presence you couldn't even stand, you are now inseparable with. On the pod today, we are diving into the paradox of reconciliation, how the impossible suddenly becomes possible. My name is Shatani Somalakai.
And I am Belle Abo Ame.
You, welcome to.
You want to end it?
I'm tired. Welcome to the Sapiosexual Platter. Yeah, reconciliation.
Yeah.
This topic was inspired by recently, I think maybe 2 months back, a lot of people who at a certain point in my life, I had made the decision to just cut off.
Yeah.
Just started reappearing. I'll go to an event and then I'll call Belle. Guess who I bumped into today? Go to another event.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, guess who called me?
Yeah.
Like, what is this, right? And in calling her, I expected her to kind of reaffirm the narrative that we had collectively as friends kept about those particular persons in my life. And then she was like, you're not always meant to be at war.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And she's right, actually. And then I just realized that I never actually ever made space in my mind that at some point, this person that I had blocked, cut off, made a decision to, that they no longer feature in my life. And the universe supported that because for a long time, they just weren't,
appearing
in my realm or my reality. Yeah, you're right. Life is quite long.
Yeah.
Imagine keeping that distance forever.
Yeah.
Especially even with even family members, So I was like, oh, wow, reconciliation. Do we ever think about that?
Yeah.
Do you ever think that the person that you, at this present moment, completely detest, that one day you guys will be sipping wine together and laughing it off?
I do believe it's possible.
Yeah.
I do believe it's very much possible. But I think the foundation and the seed of like reconciliation is clarity. And it's not even reconciling with the external, but reconciling first and foremost with yourself. And who you are, what you're about, what you allow, and having clarity to reconcile different aspects of yourself, reconcile fragments about yourself. And I think then once there's that internal alignment, then when you encounter people that you would have like maybe cut off at some point and now they're coming back into your realm, that clarity helps you know, or it's a guidance tool to discern whether the re-emergence of this person means they are aligned with who I am, or does it mean it's just like a redefinition of, I really don't vibe with you, like move about. Or, it was dope, you're a dope person, but I just know what I know now and I still hold the same sentiments that it's cool, stay there, I stay here. Yeah. But for me, the reconciliation when they would have been conflict or relationships breaking apart, the big reconciliation is to do with oneself, to eliminate the charge
Yes.
of
Yeah.
the conflict. Because if you encounter a person that, oh my god, we fought 2 years ago, we had a big fallout 4 years ago, and then if I see them every single time, I have to reiterate those thought processes in order to be able to hold a certain posture when I run into them, then it's like you're reactivating a loophole within yourself
Yeah.
than with the person.
Yeah.
All the emotions, the thoughts, and the internal dialogue are happening within you.
Yeah.
So therefore, reconciliation would be, who am I? What clarity do I have about myself? What clarity about the person that I am? And when I experience this external being, let me be integrated, reconciled within myself, and move from that point of clarity that what you did was really not cool. And when I see you, I'm not going to regurgitate those thoughts and feelings. But because now I have a clarity about, like, I really don't agree with what you did. However, I am a peaceful person. I am a healed person. I am whatever. And when I now see you, I can move in the clarity of how I've defined myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely that, because, you know, I think for me, when I was reflecting after you spoke about war doesn't last forever, I was like, yeah, and people change.
Yes.
I change. They changed. And perhaps we are appearing in each other's realms because we're no longer the versions of ourselves that fought. Right? And so it's like, if they haven't changed, what you spoke about in terms of I maintain clarity around that, I don't necessarily agree with that. And sometimes I think they're reappearing because the universe is testing your conviction about why you guys separated in the first place. And so it's a moment to show clarity, to say, it's feeling nice.
Yeah.
I'm feeling, is this a withdrawal symptom or what? And then you recall the fun times. And then you realize, oh, it's still the same person.
Yeah.
No thanks. But then sometimes I think you look back and you're like, as wrong as they were, I too also played
A part.
you know, and it takes that separation for you to also see like your era as well. And so it's like, oh, actually, hi.
Yeah.
Sorry. Doesn't mean that maybe this is the next part of the conversation, like, what is a reconciliation? Does it mean that we go back to buddying the way that we were?
Yeah.
Or does it mean that we just maintain a respectful distance? Just say, I'm not against you. Right now, if somebody said something about you or mentioned you, I'm not going to reference our conflict as our connection point.
Yeah.
Because that's usually it. It's just, oh yeah, they're a cool person.
Yeah.
Full stop. Because I've resolved it within myself and we've reconciled, and that which was our connecting factor, being the conflict, is no longer existent, so we reconciled. Or reconciliation, like, now the relationship takes on a different level of intensity.
Yeah.
You get back into each other's lives and rhythms and routines.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, is reconciliation getting back together, or is reconciliation a respectful, peaceful distance?
Hey, it's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough one because I tend to be Margaret Thatcher about these things.
Yeah, you're so clear.
Iron Woman.
Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, once it's done, it's done, and it's never love lost, because I all the friends that I would have had, all the people that I would have encountered, like, there's just always love. Like, when I think about them, it's such happy memories, it's such love. But I just also believe that when people leave your life, they leave your life for a reason. And sometimes they leave your life for a reason and a season, and they come back in other seasons. But in as much as you would have shifted and they would have shifted, taking a step back into the past to try to recreate what we once shared, yet we're new people, just feels like a stuck energy.
Are we recreating the past, or are we just meeting each other where we are? And given that at some point we were friends, you know, and
Yeah.
our energy signatures obviously aligned. It's like it's the same energy signature, it's just that there was a conflict.
Yeah.
So now we've grown, and it's like, oh, here you are, here
Yeah.
I am. We're in the same place. That also creates some kind of connection.
I think it depends
I
how
don't
the door
see-
was closed. It depends how the door was closed when we had the conflict. There are people that you would like have a relationship with, and for whatever reason life happens and you just get out of touch. And then fast forward 5 years after the fact, you're like, oh my God, it's nice to run into you. And then you reconnect or you reconcile. But I feel like where there was like conflict or war or like a big bang,
I think definitely walk with caution. I just don't think it's not impossible.
it's not impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I don't prefer it, and I also don't know if it's a demonstration of clarity. Yeah, I don't know if it's a demonstration of clarity, because it confuses me. It confuses me where if I knew so and so mistreated me and they did this and one thing, because when a conflict ensues, you'd find that there's a buildup of different things.
Yeah.
Where someone is in a habitual format of doing certain things that end up leading to the breakdown of the relationship, and you would also be in a habitual format that plays on to create that conflict. It takes two to tango. So when you have the big crash, it's because, I don't know, there was a certain level of incompatibility, certain level of a lack of clarity that led to that. There are people that you can maybe in habitual format of doing things to one another, but you can talk it out and be like, oh, I can see that. I may not agree, but I'm open to. And when it dissolves, like I said, it's how you close the door.
Yeah.
It's maybe, for example, me and my partner, we broke up at some point, but I was consistent about who he was. I could never say anything terrible, fundamentally terrible about it. It would be like, okay, we did this to one another, but at the core, I don't know any other man who can even touch where he's at. Even as I was a single girl, I'll be like, I don't know anybody. He set the bar so high. And when we came to reconcile, there was never like any bitter taste left in my tongue to the extremity that I wouldn't even want him in my realm. It was like, yeah, sure, you can come into my realm, but we're not gonna go back to one another in that regard. So there wasn't like a distastefulness. Where it gets to a place where it's distasteful, even if you've evolved and grown, the chapter closed for a reason. And there's 8 billion people on this earth. And I am open to meeting the other 8 billion people that are out there that I haven't met. And it's still a lot of love. But I'm like, but for me, it's also like, if you were able to do without me in all the years you were gone in the wilderness, then you're good. There's no need to come back. There's endless realities in this world, and you can manifest another Belle or even better, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like I accept what you say and I agree with it, but I also feel like it then doesn't acknowledge that somebody has truly changed.
No, I do acknowledge that they've changed.
So then what's the difficulty in embracing their changed person?
I don't need to embrace it.
Why?
Why should I?
But it's reconciliation. It's once we were once enemies, now we are friends.
Maybe I wouldn't go to the extent of being enemies with people. Because like I said, like for me, it's always, I understand that there's a spiritual purpose to why this has to dissolve.
And is there not a spiritual purpose to why they are now reappearing in your realm?
It is for me to realize that they've changed, and it's like, good for you. Go and be a great person to another person. Like, good for you. I clap hands for you. I've changed too.
I think I guess easier said than done,
Uh-huh.
because I think, like, say with friendships, I think you can possibly adopt that, because there's nothing beyond the friendship, really. It's a choice kind of relationship.
Yeah.
But I think about family dynamics. I think about husbands and wives, you know, and I think about those relationships. I think about, say, Joseph.
Yeah.
And his brothers sold him to slavery, and years later God made it so that they reappear in each other's realms.
Yeah.
And you know, the younger me listening to Joseph's story was like, what? And then Joseph embraced them, and you know, everything had to happen so that he ends up in Egypt, so that he ends up saving the family that abandoned him and that sold him to slavery. And then I remember a preacher one time just talking about how Joseph had come to the recognition that Leoneme, he had been quite the triggering brother.
Yeah.
Of course, his brother's actions were quite extreme. But imagine when you know Joseph was the firstborn of the mother that, Joseph was the firstborn of the mom that his father loved. Like Jacob loved Rachel.
Yeah.
And then there was the three other women.
And he'll also go to the field and be like, I'm meant to be a king.
I'm meant to be
Look
a
what I
king,
just got.
and everybody's gonna bow down to me, and all of that. So for me, it was like the reconciliation was recognizing, yeah, you were quite egotistical, and father lavished more love on you than all of us.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a very uncomfortable experience living in a family where you just took center stage. You know, and it's like, yo, I'm sorry, guys, and it's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
They recognized they were definitely wrong in selling him to slavery. I'm sure they lived with the guilt of that their entire lives.
Yeah.
And that moment was necessary to bring healing to both, you know. And it's like, after that, you don't just tell your brothers bye. Like, continue living in peace.
Yeah.
They are your family. So it's like, yo, let's make up for lost time. In an ideal world where we're getting along, we should have created memories as a family. Now we only have what we have right now. So, hi, I'm Joseph. Hi, I'm Benjamin.
Yeah.
I'm Dan. I'm whoever.
Yeah.
Tell me more about yourself. So for me, it's like you're not going back to the past. I can imagine them going, oh, so you have children now. Oh, you're married. Oh my God. I remember when like, and it's like, of course you can't go back to the past because they're just fundamentally different people now. So I think it's a story like that shows you, oh, reconciliation is possible.
I think maybe let's define what reconciliation is, because then we're operating from a different understanding or like a different definition of reconciliation. I can see somebody who's wronged me and be like, oh, how have you been? Oh, you're married now. Oh, you've got children. Da, da, da. I can interact with you. But reconciliation means, to me, there is a closeness or like integration back to something similar to what we had before. It's like I can interact with you. I'm healed to have interactions with you. But that does not mean now you have a seat in my reality, a seat in my priority, because my life is now wired in a way that I've got the things that I need. And if I then add you on to my life, I don't see the need. And it's like, if it's a family member and I know like, oh, this family member, we became out of touch, it doesn't mean that now when I see you, when you appear in my reality, you are going to then get integrated back into my life. I can see you at a family party and be like, oh, what's good? And we dance together.
Yeah,
but
I accept that.
But not like you now have a place in my life. Because reconciliation to me registers as they then have a place in your life, a seat in your life.
It can get to that.
I don't see the need.
How do a, what is it, husband and wife that deserted each other, because that's a thing where like one goes 2 years, we don't know where the wife is, we don't know where the husband is.
Yeah.
And they're married, right? Say they have children.
Yeah.
So what does reconciliation in that format look like?
You come back.
Uh-huh.
We've got children
Yes.
to take care of. I hope you've been great and living your life. I've been great too, living my life.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Great. Well done to you.
Okay. So there's no live in the same house. No lovers again. I'm sorry I hurt you. You hurt
You'd have to earn that back.
But that's what we're talking about. We're talking
You have
about
to earn it back.
reconciliation, and it seems to me that in your mind there's
No,
that.
I thought you meant like the spontaneousness of, oh, we're reappearing in each other's reality, so it must mean something. And then there's like the equality of
Man, I think
merging.
What is the definition of reconciliation?
Yeah,
I
because
don't
for me,
understand how.
if you pursue me and you show me that I've changed, like it can't be just, oh, I run into a friend and they're a new person and that's it. I'm like, if you've wronged me, you have to earn your seat back at the table. You can't just because say, oh, I've matured and I've now give me a place in your seat. It's like the same way as a husband. If you deserted me or you went somewhere for whatever reason and now you're a changed person, you have to convince me that you're a changed person. You have to earn it back. It
but
doesn't
that's reconciling though. That is reconciling.
Yeah, but we haven't added the component of earning it back. You said if you see a friend and, you know, you're new people and they say, hey, what's up? And you can see that they've changed and then we get back into things. It's like, no, earn it.
Of course,
Earn
but
it,
the fact
yeah.
that you are given the platform, the space to earn it, for me,
I wouldn't give you the platform. You have to create it for yourself. I wouldn't give you I wouldn't give you the space. If you want to reconcile with me and you want to send me flowers, find out where to send those flowers to. I'm not going to be the one to give you my address. Yeah. Look for my number, however you're looking for me. Send letters. Send different things.
Yeah, I think maybe that would be the reality around what reconciliation looks like.
Yeah.
But for me, the substance of it would have been done. There would have been the agreement that we are reconciling. Then comes the reality of kind of maybe we have not been in each other's realities for a long time. And therefore, there's going to be tension because you've become a different person that I haven't seen that evolution.
What do you mean we have agreed we're reconciling? How did we get to that agreement that we're reconciling?
Well, that's what the conversation is today.
No, I'm asking because obviously I was saying that for the person who was in the wrong, they have to earn the reconciliation. So you said we have to get to an agreement.
That's one of the ways that reconciliation can look. Can
Okay.
look clear whether you cheated and left. So you obviously have the onus to earn back because I didn't cheat.
Yeah.
Right? It can look like we fought, we argued, you said different things.
Yeah.
But I look back and I realize and as much as I had the conviction all these years that you were wrong,
Yeah.
I was also wrong. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was given the example of Joseph and his brothers. Like they're the ones who sold him to slavery. But the sermons I've heard say like, okay, but obviously the scriptures aren't explicit. But if you really think about it, for brothers to come together and say, you know, we're going to sell this guy to slavery, there must have been some crazy toxic things happening in the family. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that point, it's not like maybe a conversation or like, you know, like a step by step. But it's a spirit that comes because clearly the brothers are there. And Joseph has a choice in that moment to be like, I get out. But the fact that they're talking, for me, it's like, oh, reconciliation is taking place. And after the fact becomes the difficult practicality of Joseph was living in Egypt and he has now adopted Egyptian practices and his brothers are like this, you know, and then there's an older brother, but now the older brother has to listen to Joseph because he's the prime minister, you see. Those tensions don't go away. But for me, it's like the fact that we are in the same room talking to each other means that we are reconciled. Anyway, ChatGTP says reconciliation is the process of restoring peace, harmony, or relationship between parties who were previously in conflict, disagreement, or emotional distance. So I think about, say, like the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa, where the people who were perpetrators during the apartheid era were, told to come, like basically encouraged, come and talk, come and share what it is that you did.
Yeah.
And the fact that the decision in South Africa wasn't like, okay, all white people leave, right? For me, it signals a form of reconciliation. Hore, we will allow you in the space, but, you know, with a certain framework where now at least we embrace equality and we are allowed to live in the same space and benefit from similar like amenities and things like that initially that we weren't. So it's like there's a form of reconciliation. It's not perfect, but the fact that we're living with each other in the same space, for me, it signals how reconcile. But the tensions still remain. We still know like what the complexities are of living in present day South Africa. But there's no doubt that there's been a
complex one, like the South African one, because obviously people have built their lives, and some people are by default having to answer to their ancestral lineage and their actions that they may have not particularly participated in.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more complex one, but I want you to read the definition of reconciliation again.
a process
Of
restoring peace, harmony, or relationship between parties who were previously in conflict, disagreement, or emotional distance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I agree with that definition because, as you said, there's a process.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the earning part. Like, whoever party is in the wrong,
Or both parties in the wrong.
if both parties are in the, because for me, when I
It can't be like a black and white, like they're different scenarios.
both of us were in the wrong, and what we want to make it work again.
I think for me, what I realize is that when people break apart, there's a state of permanence that we assume about that dynamic. It's over, it's done, full stop.
Yeah.
Right? Then the universe brings those people back into your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I agree with you, sometimes it's like you're back in my life, but I don't prefer it and I feel like it's okay to make that decision. Sometimes I think because of the nature of the relationship, you kind of have to make a decision. Like, I think life forces you to have that person in your realm consistently.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people whose parents like weren't present in their lives when they were growing up, and then they grow up. There's a reconciliation of sorts that happens, and it's like, yeah, but why would you? It makes sense to me because I'm like, in as much as that person may not have been in your life, they are your parent.
Yeah.
They carry your DNA, and there's a benefit to them being around, and so for me, it's a reconciliation that is taking place. And so that's what I'm saying, they're just different scenarios.
Yeah.
And so what I realize is some people then block the reconciliation because of the assumed state of permanence of separation.
Yeah.
Or it's always supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You made this mistake 10 years ago, period, full stop.
Yeah.
Like, what if?
Yeah.
You know, what if they come back and life makes it so that they are constantly being in your face? Are you going to adopt the stance of I see you every day, but I look the other way around?
Yeah.
You know, or, oh, you're here, so I may as well entertain and hear what you have to say. And I don't know. I don't know if you follow me, but
I get you.
Yeah.
I think we're saying the same thing, just in different ways. It almost feels like reconciliation is like somewhat of a resurrection of sorts, right? And I believe that you can be at peace or healed, but not need to reconcile or resurrect.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that's where I'm coming from, that it's almost like how you're speaking, reconciliation and peace are synonymous.
No.
Or healing.
Because for me, the people that are resurfacing,
Yeah.
I'm not in myself, at least. I don't know about them.
Yes.
But in myself, I long came to a peace about I forgave,
Yes.
I released.
Yes.
if I saw them from afar, I saw them.
Yeah.
Just that life never forced us to be in the same space.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think when
And
maybe
so-
life forces you to be in the same space is to have a demonstration of, are you healed? Are you truly at
For
peace
sure.
in relation
There's
to that?
that.
Yeah. But I don't believe that all of it has to be resurrected to a certain level. Even if I reconcile with family members that maybe decided to not talk to me or abuse me, reconciliation has an element of we resurrect and we interact. I'm like, I can still be at peace with you. I can still interact with you.
And be
if you-
reconciled.
Yeah, but that's where we have a problem about what reconciliation is, because reconciliation to me is a resurrection of sorts. I can run into a person that we've fallen out. We can be at the same event and we can be cordial with one another. We can be at peace with one another. But we don't need to resurrect or have any access or intimate interaction that is somewhat an offset or similar to or close to or half of or a quarter of or what you
Yeah,
used to
but I
have.
think even right now, there's people in your life that you're not at war with.
Yeah.
Right? But you're not at, they're not, they don't have the kind of relationship that you and I have, right?
Yeah.
But they're your friends. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're your associations.
Yeah.
That person, prior to the reconciliatory moment, is somebody who, as far as you're concerned in your mind, well, I don't talk with that person. This is the last memory I have of this person is this, right?
But I don't think I have any other people that are like that. If I've fallen out with any person, if I ran into them in the street, I can say hi and hug them, but they just don't have access. I'm not giving them any access to my world.
That's what I mean. So reconciliation can be, you have some levels of access. We can joke about something. We can, there's a party where normally I wouldn't have invited you.
Yeah.
Maybe you could come, or you get what I mean? Like, I don't think it has to be as intense as prior, but the fact that you are part of my world now, for me, can be that we have reconciled. I don't think it has to be exactly as it was.
I don't think it has to be exactly as it was, but what I'm saying is, reconciliation is a resurrection, or like there's an intimacy about it. It's not peace. Like China and whatever, any other country, maybe the United States, they can be at peace with one another without having to reconcile any bilateral agreements that they may have had. And if they go to the UN or different conferences, the presidents can take a picture with one another, or they can have a conversation with one another. But that doesn't mean that their relations are reconciled to the point where they can have a synergy or closeness or interaction as countries that is symbiotic. I don't know if you understand what I
get
mean.
it, but I'm saying, if we to give that example,
Yeah.
there are countries where there is synergies and they do lots of things together.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that country X is at war. So we're just giving Southern Africa, Botswana and Namibia, we're creating lots of agreements at the moment.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that Botswana and Zambia have relations, right?
Yeah.
We may not be at our foremost priority in thoughts in terms of what we do as nations relative to one another. But, you know, as far as we're concerned, the doors are open. If Zambia came with the proposal, because of the reconciled state that we have now assumed, Botswana would be open. Well, okay, let me hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Versus prior to that, the door wasn't open.
But
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's different because the door wasn't open, but it's not as if I was fighting with you. I was at peace. I was fine.
Yeah.
But we're clearly not people that can talk to one another. Once we get to a reconciled state, maybe that person can call me and say, hey, would you kindly send me a number? Or would you kindly, before that, I see you're on my phone book, but I'm not texting you because we are at peace, but we are not together. We're not reconciled. If we reconcile, either we can resurrect a form of a intimate relationship, or we can just know, hore, these are people in my life who I can call upon for different things. I still think it's a type of reconciliation.
I don't think so.
So what is it? Is this peace?
Yeah, like if I'm at peace with you, I can still call you up Like, say, for
Really?
example, recently when I asked you to call that person in relation to the matter we had, I can still say, call so-and-so, interact with so-and-so. I'm at
But
peace.
I wouldn't say that I'm at a reconciled. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
We're
at peace.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that my ability to tap into them, to ask them for something.
Yeah, but it's surely not the same.
What do you mean it's not the same?
It's like you do it, but at arm's length, and literally you call them because in that moment it's like there's no other option.
It's not that there's no other option.
But if you had other options, that's the last person that you would call.
It's
At least
not
for me, with the specific scenarios you gave.
For me,
honestly,
that's what
it's
I'm
like
saying.
When I reach out to them, it's because there's really no other option. But I know that when I get to them, it's desperate. But if we're at a reconciled state, this is somebody who ordinarily I'd be like, actually, let me ask.
I think we're speaking on different, like we're parallel in our conversation.
I think it's because
and our
of
understanding.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're parallel because for me, being at peace with somebody does not necessarily mean we're reconciled. I think with reconciliation, there'll be attributes of what we used to share in the past resurfacing in this new interaction. Yeah. But I can be at peace with you without those aspects resurfacing. And I don't think that being at peace with you is a form of we've reconciled. Because my default mode personally would be that I'm at peace with everybody. So even though we said bye to one another, say my friend that I shared with you recently, I defended him when he was going through fire. But it's like, if I can defend you when you're going through fire, it doesn't mean that we're reconciled. It just means I'm at peace with you. I love you. And if you're going through something,
Yeah.
I can come and defend you. But it does not mean that we are reconciled to a certain state.
But that's why I'm saying you keep saying reconcile to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Reconcile to a certain state, which meaning there are levels of reconciliation. That's what I'm trying to say.
But even if you look at the word reconciliation, there's that
yeah, reconnection.
Yeah. To say replay, like you
Not
are.
replay, reconnect.
No, like I'm giving an example because you can reconcile things, but if you reconcile, what I'm trying to show you is there is a repetition of sorts, a replay of sorts, hence the word re. So for me, that's why reconciliation registers as we can reconcile things. Definitely, if we fall apart, we can reconcile and be at peace. But if we reconcile, there is a return to a certain state that
And
we
I guess maybe
previously
to
shared.
move forward.
We can move forward. We can reconcile things and move forward without.
No, I agree with you. Like there's a return because in order to reconcile, you have to kind of go back to say like, okay, you did this and I did this, and oh my god.
Yeah.
And what I am saying is I agree with you. And I'm saying even after that process of, you wronged me, you cheated on me, you left, you whatever.
Yeah.
We can, after that process, then go, let's spend more time together.
That can happen.
Or not.
That can happen.
Or not.
That can happen,
We can say, let's spend more time together and create a new thing out of the foundation of the piece that we've now established, right?
Yeah.
Or alternative, we can be like, well, that was great.
But I never said that.
That was
can't
amazing.
happen.
And you know what? I'm so busy. I actually wouldn't have time for you in my schedule. And like,
Exactly.
okay. But for me, the fact that we talked and had that thing, you don't register the same as prior. For me, it's like we're in a reconciled state. Just that life maybe doesn't allow, or the way that life is at the current moment doesn't allow for us to get back to a similar type of relationship. But yeah, that's my girl now. It's like, yeah, yo, what's up? What do you do? Yeah. Oh, hey, maybe we'll party that one time in the year. And for me, it's like, that's good enough. That's reconciled, But it's like, but I'm busy and I have trials and I have things that I do and I already have an active life with so many different people.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that when I think about you, you're somebody who I can think about in terms of inviting, considering, calling, asking, and similarly, that line is open. So for me, that's a reconciled state of a relationship. It may not look anything like what we used to do before, but you are back in the list of people in my life that I may even pray for, like before, once you leave my parameter, when I say God, cover my friends, I know you're not included in that. Now, when I say God, cover my friends, what's another thing?
I think we just fundamentally internalize things different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for me, any friend that I have ever loved, my love never goes away. It's always there. I pray for them. I think about different friends that have parted from my life. I still pray for them. If I have to defend them for whatever reason, I'll still come back and defend them. Reconciliation for me, it's a process where I feel like, in as much as we both had roles to play, it has to be earned. So even if we have a conversation about what transpired, we can have a conversation about what transpired, and I'm like, I hear you and you hear me. That is not a reflection of a reconciliation to me. It's just talking things out and seeking a state of peace. Because you can have that conversation and I can still leave thinking like you crazy, and you can still leave thinking like you crazy, but we ironed out the situation and we still what's that phrase? Agree to disagree. But in our agree to disagree, we don't hold the same charge towards one another that we may have previously had. It will be like, okay, we talked it out. You still hold your sentiments. I still hold my sentiments. Kumbaya, bye-bye. It's okay. But reconciliation for me is that return to a specific state that has a resemblance of what was there before. And I don't find it a state that is done just because we had a conversation. I find it as a state that parties have to earn it. If we wronged each other, that means we have to send flowers to one another. It's a process. It's not going to be like, oh, we had a conversation and that was that. I have so many conversations with people that have parted out of my life, and we come to an agreement, and we come to a place of healing, and we come to a place of peace. But that peace that does not mean it's reconciled. It's exactly that. We got to a state of peace, and that's that. But when I think about a party, you're not coming. When I think about somebody to text or to call, I'm not texting or calling you. And it's not out of any bad vendetta. It's just out of a place of clarity that I'm where I am in my life. And if we are to reconcile to a state of intimate interaction, similar, a fraction of what used to be, we have to earn it, or there has to be a need.
That's fine.
But if there's no need and nobody has also worked to earn one another, I can be at peace with you, I can be healed with you, but it's not a demonstration of being reconciled. And I think also, even when people leave my life, it is just that I understand people are in your life for a reason. Some people are in your life for a season. And when that season has ended, no matter how it closed or it ended, there's a spiritual awareness that I have that this has served its purpose and it had to close for a reason. And that's why I would have a certain level of detachment to say, if you want to leave my life or we break up for whatever reason, in as much as maybe it may hurt or it may be uncomfortable, I'm okay with it, because surely you are a person for a season. And if we come to dissect what transpired, it does not mean a return to anything, or it does not mean a charge is dissolved. The charge was long dissolved. Now we're just cross-checking notes.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm genuinely struggling with it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I see it different. I just see that for me, there's peace, but there's a disconnect. I am emotionally connected to the people in my life, and so once we break apart, that emotional connection no longer is there. I may still love you. If you happen to cross my realm, maybe that's the time that I'll pray for you. But I'd be lying if I said that I prayed for you. Because there's no emotional connection, you just don't feature in my consciousness. At least not the consciousness that I'm aware of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so once we have a conversation and we iron things out, then for me, you become a candidate for just like occupying space in my life.
Yeah.
And it may not be the same space that you occupied prior, but the fact that I am giving you space and that if you to call, I would give you attention. If there was something that I wouldn't consider you for, and say it's a tender or whatever, before I had 5 lists of people, because we had that chat, now I actually say, hey, Zalame, thing. You know what I mean? You're not going to be as close to me as ballets or the people that are in my life, but you're part of the people that are emotionally connected to, that I think about.
Yeah.
And I accept that as a form of reconciliation. Yeah.
I get it. I think for me, it's just, it's a matter of semantics. I wouldn't think of it as a form of reconciliation. It's just like, I'm at peace with you and I'm healed in relation to you, but you still have no access.
Yeah.
And it's not even coming from a bad place. It's just like, it's just what it is.
Yeah. But I guess because for me, like, I'm happy that we went. I guess this is probably the most sapio thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we spent so much time on the definition.
Yeah.
But really, like, the issue was, or the topic was, do people make space for reconciliation?
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I think about it and I'm like, part of just when I was thinking about the statement you made, you can't be at war forever, just recognizing I may be at peace, but my heart isn't open in a sense.
But then if your heart is not open, are you at peace?
Yes.
I don't think so, though. Because I'm like, if your heart is not open, you're not at peace.
No, because you open your heart up to people you trust. Like, for me, it's like my heart is open generally.
Yeah.
But to the people that I trust.
But even those people, when they still come back to your life, as you said, they may not return to the same place, but you give them some space and the trust is not the same anymore. It's different, or they're on a
different levels.
On a different level.
Yeah. So,
you know, because for me, it's like, if you're at peace with the person, because let me refer back to my statement. You said you can't be at war forever.
Yeah.
So for me, that is a demonstration of, I saw this person and it triggered thoughts and feelings of the past in relation to them. And that's why when I see them, it's deeply registering that, oh my God, I saw this person. And it's like, oh, you can't be at war forever with them. The opposite of war is peace. So it's like, you can't be at war with them, but you can be in peace with them.
Okay.
And in peace with them does not mean reconciliation with them.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I guess then this episode was more a conversation about peace.
Yeah.
And we can then go do a part 2 on actual reconciliation, because that's what I wanted us to achieve, to say, what does it look like? You know, what are the possible pitfalls, or like the possible tensions that can arise. Like, I was excited for that, but we ended up, and I guess it's important in terms of achieving that clarity to say, are you reconciled with a person just because you had a conversation with them and ironed things out?
Yeah.
And maybe even the Sapios, please comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think, because my co-host and I differ clearly, but it's been very fascinating and illuminating. Yeah.
I think the end question is like, what does reconciliation to you? You know, at the end of the day, reconciliation is different based on our different experiences, how we internalize things, how our psychology is wired. So what is reconciliation to you? And what does that look like? And there isn't really an umbrella for it to say, this is what it should look like, this is what it should be. It's a matter of like your definition. So what is reconciliation to you? What does it look like? My name is Balsa Abo Ame.
I am Shatani Somalakai.
And you've been watching the Sapiosexual Platter.